So there are many different ways to take a photo, but we're going to cover the main ones in today's video. We'll also tell you what each one is used for. Aperture priority, as the name suggests, allows you to set the aperture and the camera will automatically select the shutter speed and ISO. This is the most advanced mode, but it also gives you the most control over your photos. It's great if you're looking to take photos in a specific style, or if you're trying to achieve a specific look. The goal of white balance is to make sure that white looks white and not something else like yellow or blue. Let's say you're retaking photos of a wedding, and you want to make sure that your photos look natural. In this case, you're shooting indoors, so you would want to set your white balance to tungsten or fluorescent. When shooting indoors, you'll likely need to adjust your white balance to make sure that your photos look natural. Let us say you're retaking photos of a dog and you want to make sure that your photos are in focus. Don't forget to have fun and be creative. And remember, a camera is not just a tool. It's an extension of your eye, your heart, your story. Thanks for watching. See you next time. In this case, you're shooting a moving object, so you would want to use continuous autofocus. The goal of metering is to make sure that your photos are neither too bright nor too dark. Most cameras have an automatic metering setting, which works well in most situations. However, if you're shooting in a specific environment like a really bright place or a really dark place, you might need to adjust your metering manually. If you're shooting in a really bright place, try setting your metering to spot or center weighted. If you're shooting in a really dark place, try setting your metering to average or full frame. Most cameras have an automatic white balance setting, which works well in most situations. Most cameras have an automatic autofocus setting, which works well in most situations. However, if you're shooting a specific subject like a moving object or something really close up, you might need to adjust your autofocus settings. If you're shooting a moving object, try using continuous autofocus. If you're shooting something really close up, try using manual focus. However, if you're shooting in a specific environment like indoors or outdoors, you might need to adjust your white balance manually. If you're shooting indoors, try setting your white balance to tungsten or fluorescent. If you're shooting outdoors, try setting your white balance to daylight or shade. For example, if you're taking photos of people, you might want to use a shallow depth of field to blur the background. To do this, set your aperture to a low f number, like f2.8. You might also want to use a slow shutter speed to create a sense of motion. To do this, set your shutter speed to a high fraction like 1/30th of a second. Finally, you might want to use a low ISO to reduce the amount of noise in the photo. To do this, turn your ISO dial to a low number like 100. So here's a side-by-side comparison of a photo taken in manual mode versus a photo taken in automatic mode. As you can see, the photo taken in manual mode has a shallower depth of field and less noise. So when should you use manual mode? Well, it's great for advanced users or for situations where you need a lot of control over your photos. This is great if you're looking to take photos with a specific depth of field. The lower the ISO, the less sensitive your camera is to light, and the higher the ISO, the more sensitive your camera is to light. When shooting in low light, you'll need to increase your ISO to make your photos brighter. But be careful not to increase your ISO too much, or you'll start to introduce noise into your photos. So here is a side-by-side comparison of a photo taken with a low ISO versus a photo taken with a high ISO. As you can see, the photo taken with the high ISO has more noise. So here's a simple rule of thumb to follow when it comes to ISO. If you're shooting in good lighting conditions, keep your ISO low, like between 100 and 400. If you're shooting in low light, you can raise your ISO, but try not to go above 1600. For example, if you're taking photos of people or pets, you'll want to use a shallow depth of field to blur the background. And of course, we'll start off by talking about automatic mode. Automatic mode is the easiest mode to use. All you have to do is point your camera at your subject and press the shutter button. Your camera will automatically select the best settings for the shot you're taking. And this includes the aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. So let's take a closer look. Here's an example. Let's say you're retaking a photo of a person and you want the background to be blurred. For this, you'd want to use a large aperture to create a shallow depth of field. You can do this by selecting a low f number like f2.8. You would also want to use a slow shutter speed to blur the background. You can do this by selecting a high fraction like 1/30th of a second. And finally, you'd want to use a low ISO to reduce the amount of noise in the photo. You can do this by turning the ISO dial to a low number, like 100. So here's a side-by-side comparison of a photo taken in automatic mode versus a photo taken in manual mode. As you can see, the photo taken in automatic mode is sharper and has less noise. So when should you use automatic mode? Well, it's great for beginners or for quick snaps when you do and have time to mess around with settings. Just remember that your camera's automatic mode is imperfect, and sometimes it might not select the best settings for your shot. Next, we're going to talk about the semi-automatic modes, aperture priority and shutter priority. Okay, let's move on to manual mode. Manual mode allows you to set the aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. Now let's talk about ISO. ISO is a measure of how sensitive your camera sensor is to light. Now let's talk about white balance. White balance is a setting that you can adjust to make sure that your photos look natural. Let's take a look at a real-life scenario. Next, let's talk about metering. Metering is a setting that you can adjust to make sure that your photos are properly exposed. Okay, now let's talk about autofocus. Autofocus is a feature that you can use to make sure that your photos are in focus. Now let's take a look at a real-life scenario. All right, now that you know the basics of photography, it's time to go out and take some photos.